All right. Okay, guys. So the next lesson is on something called conditional probability. So with this lesson, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing a lot of tree diagrams. Okay. So, and you'll see the reason why. Um, so yes, let's just jump into the first example here. So two marbles are drawn without replacement, and that's key. Is we're not replacing the marble. We're not putting it back after the first draw. Okay. From a bag containing 3 red marbles and 4 black marbles. So what is the probability of getting two black marbles? Excuse me. All right. So here, what I've done is I've drawn kind of on the side here, kind of like the bag containing it's a total of 7 marbles. Okay. So 3 of which are red, 4 are black. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to draw a tree diagram, kind of branching out and all the kind of possibilities of what could occur. Okay. So on the first draw, you can either get a black marble or a red marble, right? And then on the next draw, you can either get a black marble or a red marble, okay? So these are 2 options, right? And same over here, if I went red first, then I can get a black marble and then a red marble. Okay, so each one of these branches, or these sets of branches, represents a draw. Okay, so this first branch is the first draw, or first marble. Actually, yeah, maybe I'll call it marble. So first marble. And this one here would be the second marble. Okay. And the reason we got to draw these tree diagrams out is because these second marbles, or the probabilities, actually depend on what happens in the first draw, right, for the first marble. All right, so you kind of see. So let's work this out here. So the probability of getting a black marble on the first draw is there's 4 black marbles in the bag out of the 7. So this would be 4 out of 7. All right. And to get a red marble would be the other 3. So this would be 3 out of 7. Actually, you know what? We use a different color here. Let's go with green. All right, so let's try that again. Okay, so for black marbles, right, there's on the first draw, it's 4 out of 7. Second, or for the red marbles, it would be 3 out of 7. Okay. Now, since we're not putting that first marble back, on the second draw, there's not 7 marbles, there's only 6 left. So each one of these probabilities will be out of 6, not 7, because again, we're not putting that first marble back. All right, and if I drew a black marble out on the first draw, there's 1 less, right? So to get another black marble, if for this branch right here, if I drew a black marble out first, there's only 3 left. Okay, so this would be 3 out of 6. All right. And if I was to fill out this probability here, okay, I pull a black marble out first, but then I pull a red one. Okay, all 3 red marbles are still in the bag, so this would be 3 out of 6. Now in this branch, if I was to take a red marble out, then there would still, all 4 of the black marbles would still be there. So this would be 4 out of 6. And if I pulled a red marble out, there'd be 1 less red marble. So there would be 2 out of 6 here. Okay, so these are the kind of the probabilities, and what you'll notice is in the second, for the second marble, right? To get a black marble is different depending on, it's 3 out of 6 if you pulled a black one out in the first one. It's 4 out of 6 if you pulled a red one out on the first draw, okay, because they changed, because you're not putting that marble back. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. All right, so the probability of getting 2 black marbles. Okay, so that is when we have a black and a black. Okay, so it's this branch right here. Now to calculate the probability, all right, so the probability of 2 black marbles, what we do is we actually just multiply these 2 probabilities together. So it's going to be 4 out of 7. And the first draw multiplied by 3 out of 6. Okay. So I know 3 out of 6, that can reduce to 1 over 2 as well. All right, so let's just multiply this out. It's 12 out of 42. And this actually reduces as a fraction to let's see here, I can divide by 6. So 2 out of 7. Okay, so in this case, the probability of holding 2 black marbles is like black and then black. Okay, so those 2 there. All right, cool. So, and yeah, and to get the actual probability of that happening, you're going to multiply the 2 probabilities together. All right, cool. So let's go on to the next one here. Now, what I'm going to need to do is actually I'm going to use this tree diagram over and over again. So, excuse me, what would be the best way here? Actually, let's, I want to delete the highlighted part here. Okay, so, oh, there we go. That was easy. All right, so let's see here. What's the next one here? So I'm going to just use a highlighter to show which one of these branches that we're going to use. Okay, so for part B, we want the probability of 1 red marble on only one of the 2 draws. Okay, so we just want 1 red marble. Okay, so that would be when you go black marble then red marble, or you go red marble and black marble. So there's actually 2 of these branches. All right, so it's either going to be black and red or red and black. All right, and if you remember from I guess from the last unit, right? Whenever you hear the word or, you're basically going to add the 2 branches together. Okay, so to answer this question, to go black and then red is 4 out of 7 times 3 out of 6. Okay, so what's the actually? You know what? I'm going to go black red, or you can go red black. Okay, so to get black red, it's 4 out of 7 times 3 out of 6. Okay, so let me just keep scroll. Let me scroll that up. Okay, so black and red would be 4 out of 7 and 3 out of 6. And actually, you know what? Let me just I'm gonna play around with this a little bit here, so we can just so we don't have to keep scrolling it up here. Let me just delete some of this here. Okay, so I want to keep referring to the tree diagram here. Okay, so that's better. Okay, so black and then red would be 4 out of 7 times 3 out of 6. Okay, so that's this one. Or we can go red and the black. Okay, so red and black. To get the red would be 3 out of 7. So that's this branch over here. Okay, so 3 out of 7 times 4 out of 6. All right, so this first one, when we multiply the fractions, it's 12, right? Multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, 12 out of 42. And the second one over here is actually also 12 out of 42. So when we add these together, it's out of 42. It's 24 out of 42. All right, and that reduces to, we divide by 6, so 4 out of 7. Okay, so the probability there would be 4 out of 7. Okay, so to get only 1 red marble, you're either going to go black then red, so you multiply those together, or you can go red and then black. All right, cool. So I'm just going to keep erasing these highlighted things. It's going to change. All right. Next up, part C. What's the probability of getting a red marble on the second draw if it is known that the first marble was black? Okay, so this one is actually not too bad. I can kind of, I'll keep that down here. So to get a red marble, so it's going to be either this one or this one, if it is known that the first marble was black. So the first marble was black, second one's red. So this would be the actual probability, right? Because we are basically what it's saying is we know that it's down this branch. So this has happened. What's the probability of getting a red then? Okay, so it's just basically 3 out of 6. Okay, because the first marble was black. All right, so so the answer to this one here is quite simply 3 out of 6. Okay, so all we do here, which is 1/2 actually, reduces to 1/2. So all we do here is that we know that it's given, or it's known that the first marble was black. Okay, so we're ignoring this side over here. Okay, so we just know. And basically what it's saying is off this branch, what's the probability of getting a red marble? And that's 3 out of 6. Cool. All right, now the last one here. Actually, you know what? Let me do this here. Let me just snip it. Because I want to keep this tree diagram here. All right. I feel like maybe I'm doing a little too much work here, but just go with it. All right, so there, I've saved that diagram. So I'm just going to insert it here into the last one. All right. All right, insert picture. Rather than, just keep scrolling it up and down. So, all right, so here is the tree diagram that we came up with, I think, hopefully. Stop shading. All right. Yeah. I just noticed that this line here is missing, but I guess that's a branch there. Okay, so a black marble on the second draw. Okay, so when does that occur? Okay, so that occurs, oops, I forgot to erase the highlighter. So yeah, I'm making a mess with these colors. Let's go with red. All right, so to get us black one on the second one is right here. Okay, so you can go black and black, or you can go red and black. Okay, so these two branches. So in other words, to answer this question, it's black, then black, or red, then black. Okay, so this is kind of similar to actually the second one here, the second example, or second part of this example. All right. So these two branches, so again, it's an OR, so we're going to multiply the 4 out of 7 out of 3 out of 6. Or it's going to be 3 out of 7, like the red, and then 4 out of 6. All right. So again, this is going to be 12 out of 42 plus 12 out of 42, which is equal to, actually it's the exact same number as we did in the second part there, 24 out of 42. That reduces to 4 out of 7. Okay, so black marble on second draw. Yeah, so that's kind of like the deal with these conditional probability questions, is that you will be drawing a bunch of tree diagrams. Okay. Now that being said, let me just scroll to the worksheet here. Okay, so this is the worksheet. There's a bunch of questions with the that has to do with the deck of cards. Okay, so yeah, so make sure you keep yourselves familiar with, or you are familiar with the how the distribution of the cards are. So yeah, there's a few questions there, and actually, I believe that I put it in the notes. Just give me 1 sec here and find it. Foundations 12. So I think it was off the last lesson here. 4.2. No, it was off 4.1 then. 1 sec. All right. So if you're not quite, yeah, here it is. Okay. So if you weren't quite familiar with how the distribution of the cards are in a deck of cards. All right. If you refer to the 4.1 lesson, the Word document that I posted, this chart here will tell you basically how the cards are laid out. Okay, so you can refer to that as you're working through the worksheet. All right. Cool. And actually, you know what? Let's just scroll back to the worksheet here. Yeah. So for these questions here, what you want to do is you want to draw out the true diagrams. Okay. And yeah, there's only 7 questions here, so that should be enough for practice. All right, and again, check your answers on the bottom. Cool, guys. That's it for this lesson. Cheers.